Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot. Oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls. I am your host, Patricia Baker. I'm here with my lovely co-host, all the way from Tucson, Miss PK.
You're so sweet.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine because this is the last day of the darn 9 stuff.
Oh, thank God.
I'm so grateful to end this.
I know it.
Tomorrow we wake up to a 1 month and a 1 day and a new beginning. Thank you, God.
Yes. Yes.
It has been a roller coaster for everyone. This 9 year has lasted all year long. It's been horrible.
It feels like that, doesn't it?
Oh, God. Each day seems to be another challenge just to get through it.
Yes.
But it's wrapping up a lot of things, and that's the most important thing. And you think about tomorrow, it's a 1 month, all about fresh starts and new beginnings, a 1 day, which should give us a little energy and being able to lay things out for what we would like to take place. Anything that's been ongoing, think of, I'm sure there's a bit of a shadow period. We know that. We never get rid of those. But the most important thing is to take a look at new beginnings. This is a good look at what we're going to be experiencing throughout the coming year. Can't beat that.
No, it's nice to have a preview, right?
Oh, God, yes. The previews I've had before of coming attractions weren't too red hot.
Yeah, really?
So I'm looking for the good stuff, sweetness. Looking for the good stuff.
Good. Now I have a question for you in the numbers as you're looking at October. Will this be a continuation of secrets being made known?
In a 1 year, we're going to find a lot of people are going to have a little more chutzpah about saying what's out there, what they know. I think secrets will come out because people that know that have been holding back on certain things. The 1 year is new beginnings and getting rid of, letting go of what has been. So from that standpoint, I think we're going to be quite surprised at what's going to transpire.
Okay.
Coming up this coming year. From October on, brand new start.
Good. That sounds good to me. Well, thank you for answering that question. And I have an announcement for everybody. I'm so happy to tell everyone, any fans, as you know, we're big fans of Supernatural, Sam and Dean, it's coming back.
Hey.
And so, yay. It was one of the longest running series, 15 seasons they went.
That's something.
And really great writing, incredible acting. Those two guys, they deserve Emmys. They didn't get them last time around. They deserve them. I'm going to talk to my friend who votes for people for the Emmys and tell them, you better vote for Sam and Dean. What's wrong with you?
Yes.
Oh, yes. So I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to hear that. I also heard another announcement. Buffy the Vampire Slayer may be coming back.
Yes, I saw something on that.
Also with original cast members, which I love. I mean, it's like, oh my God, those are two great paranormal shows. And then last but not least, one more is coming back, Grimm, which was another great paranormal show. So,
I like Grimm the best.
Grimm is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess some of the cast members will be back for Grimm, not all of them, but very exciting for everybody who loves to watch good, really good paranormal television. 3 top 10.
Oh, it's nice. It's nice to be able to be in touch with something that's feel good from what we've seen before, instead of the usual. I'm just going to be, instead of the usual, we want the unusual.
We like the unusual, and we don't mind being a little scared when we watch stuff, but there's so much open-heartedness with these shows and the way they were put together and written. And they'll always be my top 3, I think. So just wanted to share that with everybody. Not sure when. I heard something about October 31st for Supernatural, a 2-hour movie coming out, but not sure. It better not be AI. Better be the real deal.
Mm.
Not that I don't like it. I do. But I also like the real people. So
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be
yes. So tonight, we have a subject that definitely needs to be talked about.
Oh, you got that right. Oh, boy.
Yes, indeedy. This is a big one. And we have an expert with us tonight, all the way from Australia. We have Sarah Mccrum. Now, I'm just going to read a little bit about her. I'm going to jump right in because she's an expert on this. Her work with money started in 2010 when she found herself spontaneously writing a message from money in her notebook. So the first thing it said was, "I would like to tell you to love me." How about that? Isn't that adorable? My God.
I love something you don't have.
Maybe because it draws it in, right? Well,
Okay, good.
find
Go
out.
for it.
It continued by saying, "I am an energy. I am very powerful and beautiful. I am an incredible web of connections. I am not the devil. I never have been. I connect human beings with each other." How beautiful. How beautiful is this?
That it is. That it is.
So, this became the first chapter of Sarah's book, Love Money, Money Loves You. And Bill, if you could put that on, we can take a look at that beautiful cover.
It is beautiful. It's a lovely book.
It is. It is. And so this gave precise instructions on how to heal relationship with money, how to run a business on the principles of love, abundance, generosity, and nature. Now, Sarah's approach, she says, is unconventional, and she's best known for being relaxed, practical, grounded around a topic that causes most people stress, fear, and worry, whatever their level of financial capacity. But she's also spent 23 years teaching and coaching business owners and their families to solve the gritty human problems that prevent them from finding fulfillment in their business and their life. She is the author of the book you just saw, Love Money, Money Loves You. Energy on Demand, Master Your Personal Energy and Never Burn Out. That would be a good thing to know. And a business owner. She founded the Energy Bank in London. It was an ultra cool feng shui training center used by some of the world's best known companies to relax and energize their leaders and run exclusive events. Excuse me. And now she's a co-originator of Love To and founder of Liberate Humanity. Both these businesses are examples of the principles of her book, Love Money, Money Loves You. She's also an energy master, but I could just keep talking about her. Let's get her on the show.
Oh, good idea.
Sarah, welcome.
Hi, Sarah.
Thank you very much, and welcome from tomorrow, because I'm already on the 1st of October, so it was very fascinating to
that's
be
right.
here talking about that.
You're a time traveler, too. We're going to put that on your resume. Thank you so much for being here. This is a subject that causes so many people such angst.
Oh, God, yes.
My goodness, you found your way through it. So tell us how, I love this. Would you say it's like a real conversation you were having with the energy of money?
Actually, no, it wasn't a conversation, because the conversation is two-way. It was a one-way conversation.
It was one way. Okay.
It was money talking to me. What happened after that initial time that you just spoke about, a couple of days later, I thought, wow, that was very cool. Why don't I see if money's got something else to say to me? So I sat down with my pen, and lo and behold, it had something else to say to me. And so I just did it every day for about 3 months. And every day it had something to say. And each of those some things became one chapter of the book.
Oh, you darned.
How creative and how incredible and how blessed you are to have had this experience, because what
absolutely.
you were writing down there in those very first moments, that's so powerful.
It's actually really extraordinary, and it's easy to say that because it's really not my words. I could not have written what's in the book. I couldn't have even thought it. I couldn't have even thought the first line, I would like to tell you to love me. Yeah. The moment I saw that, and then it went on saying, I'm an energy, I'm very powerful and beautiful, all these things. It said, take me, pay with me, invest me, spend me, like do whatever you want with me. And it ended saying, don't wait, just take me, I will love you. So It's like, you love me, I love you. And yeah, it was stunning in a way and very touching. And so, yeah, I just sat down every day, and it seemed like money had a lot to say to me. And I think only once did I ask it a question towards the end. And I said, what is the new currency? I didn't know what I meant. Like, it didn't even make sense to me say, what is the new currency? But it was like I had to ask the question. And then I got all these chapters about the new currency. So it was very, very cool.
This is a question that PK's been asking, right? You've been asking that. It's the very same question.
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you think is going to come out on top for money?
Well, that's a slightly different question from what I was asking. Look, I think what actually is the case is that the underlying principles of the energy of money, they are present everywhere, wherever we go. And they are the underlying principles of the current system of money that has really been pushed as far as it can be pushed, to the extent that it's become very corrupted. That's not money, it's the people who engage with it, who make those kinds of decisions. The money itself is still a beautiful energy. I think we're in the middle of a huge, I don't think, it's obvious we're in the middle of a huge transition that is supported from many different angles, not least energetically, that the old system can't sustain itself. I have another business apart from my kind of main money business, which is, we talk about a well-being economy, and how do we actually grow an economy that is built on these same principles? And it's actually about, if you were running a country, wouldn't you think that the most sensible thing to do would be to ensure maximum well-being of all the people in your country, because they're going to be more productive, more creative, they're going to work better, they're going to be sick less, they're going to be happier. Mm-hmm. That sort of very intuitively makes sense to everybody, but it's not what we have. Mm-mm. So my work is to take us that direction. There are obviously alternative directions that are not the same as that, and I think that I don't think we can be sure yet what the outcome will be. I actually think it's up to us to really show up for what the values that we stand for, because money's about value in the end. So right. Everything links with our values, what we value, how we exchange value, how we create value. Value is just, to me, what everything is about. And so this is our chance.
It really is. And, it's so sad the way that money is used against people.
Used.
Yeah. And so, but do you work with people individually with money issues?
I do. I mean, I mostly teach groups, but I'm always, I do a lot of coaching. Most of my work is coaching people, but in groups. So yes, I'm working with lots of individuals.
So do you find patterns with people in terms of they have a lack of money, or they have their patterns? We all have our patterns.
Mm-hmm. We all have our patterns, and there are different patterns. There are the people who love to have a lot of drama. There are the people who get really depressed or anxious about it. There are the people who always go into debt. There are people who never go into debt but have other restricting and limiting experiences around money. So there are a whole lot of different patterns. And then I think there are some culture-wide patterns, really. I think, and some almost worldwide. It's almost, but not quite worldwide, for people to have this kind of disjunction between purpose or values and money. And that's so prevalent because we've learned both in the East and the West that poor people are basically virtuous people.
Yeah.
And it creates a very deep conflict, I think, in our psyche. And it's so painful, such a difficult conflict that we tend to bury it. But I find that that's in poor people and rich people and successful people. That's everywhere. So yes, lots of patterns, very interesting.
Yeah, because I think if you can identify the pattern and pull it out by its roots, then you have a chance at changing it, right?
I think that's one part of it, but the other part that's actually even more important and makes that much easier is having a sense of who you want to become. Mm-hmm. Because what I find is a lot of people these days have learned a lot about blockages and things like that, and they're always looking for the next pattern to pull out, and there's always another one. Yeah. So, you can get stuck there. after a while. So what I found is the accelerator is to connect with what you want, with your wishes, if you like, because that's actually what activates the energy of money. The energy of money is a bit like the genie in the bottle that responds. It's like responds to your command or to your wish. It's like the energy of manifestation and materialization. So the problem with a lot of people where they do have some very deep-rooted patterns is they cut off from knowing what they want. Or they can't, you say, what do you want? And I used to be the same. I would just freeze. I was so afraid to say what I wanted in case I didn't get it and it was yet another disappointment. Or yet another feeling like, oh, well, whatever everyone else is on, you're not on it, Sarah. And all these beautiful people around saying, oh, I got these amazing results. And it's like, here I am. And I didn't. And I felt like, a stuffed lemon or something. It was just a horrible, horrible feeling. So I just shut off completely from that. And I think a lot of women I meet have done that.
Wow. So how do you lead them through? How do you bring them back to this connection with money?
I start with relaxation. The first thing I do, because everyone gets stressed about money. It's not just people who don't have enough of it. You can get business people get incredibly stressed about money, and very successful business people get even more stressed about money, and super, super wealthy people are even more stressed. So it's ridiculous.
Wow. And more to lose.
Yeah.
Well, yes. But also, I've heard of people getting stressed because they were losing, 100 million, but they were going to be left with 10 or 20 or 30 million. It's like, yeah, that's a lot to lose of what you've got. But seriously, you're not at great risk.
Yeah, you're not going to be standing in line with the cup. That's for sure.
Well, that's right. And people kill themselves over things like that. So we start always with relaxation. And I don't even start with relaxing about money. I just teach everybody how to relax. And that sounds really silly in a way, because, everyone thinks, oh, I know how to relax. But actually, they don't. You're right. They just don't. And once you can really relax, and not just relax your body, but relax your mind and relax your soul, relax whatever. I will relax anything I can possibly relax. Once you can do that, you open actually to the flow of energy. Money is energy. So if you're open to that flow of energy, you're actually more open both to find solutions to whatever it is you're worried about, and also to actually receive more money. It's not the only condition. Relaxation isn't the only thing. But if you don't relax, you will always contract.
Right.
And when you contract, you tighten, you close down. We know that. Like, you don't need to have done years of meditation to know that. And when you close down, the energy flow is reduced as well. And you know that because you actually have less energy. When you're very tense, you get tired more easily. You have less energy, literally. So from the very fundamental principles of energy, we can actually work out what it is we need to do, which is to relax, to be open. Enjoyment is really important for money.
Yes.
Money loves enjoyment. That's where we start.
I love hearing you talk about it that way. What money loves. It's so beautiful. I love it.
That's right.
Because when you do that, and when you write about it in your book, which is beautiful also, it takes away a lot of that negativity we've been taught. Money doesn't grow on trees, and all those stupid sayings that were drilled in our heads. But just by your saying that money is its own energy, it's its own consciousness, it begins to really take away from those misnomers about money. But they're not.
That's right. They're misunderstandings. Like, we didn't know better. We were told by some very clever people, that money is all based on scarcity and there's scarce resources and this and that. All these things that sort of just crept into our culture, quite apart from the fact that, it's easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to go to heaven. And these things, they just stick in your consciousness. And so, what are we supposed to do with that? And the root of all evil and all of these things. And look, it doesn't matter what their original intention was. We just pick up at a very superficial level. Okay, money, bad. And then lots of evidence, lots of bad people using money for bad purposes. But bad people use everything for bad purposes. They destroy nature. It's not because nature's bad, it's because they're making bad decisions. So yeah, it is a very beautiful energy when you come to know it, and you feel the presence of it. And it's not so suddenly now whatever I want turns to gold, because actually life would be very boring if that happened. We still have to learn about it. It's like any relationship, it's like just because you got married, it doesn't mean you're living in bliss for the rest of your life.
Yes, but I think it is, again, it's helpful to understand this on the level that you're bringing to us. This is such a enlightened, free feeling to hear you talk about this way.
Yeah. It's very different from what we're used to.
Definitely. I was just going to say the very same thing. How we're raised and how we look at money and how you project it in the book. It's like, wow, two different worlds. And I like your book better if I can get there.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Patricia, when I first started, actually, when I moved to Australia and I had no money, I'd written the book about 2 years before, but a little bit ignored it because I didn't know what to do with it. It was obviously beautiful and kind of amazing, but I was a bit overawed by it. But I arrived here, I didn't know anyone and I had no money. And a psychic, funnily enough, I won a session with a psychic, and she, 3/4 of the way through the session, I was saying, I've got to make some money really fast because I've got to pay my bills, and it was all very kind of blocked and closed. And I mentioned this book, and she just went, "That's it. You've got to do it, Sarah. You've got to teach about that book." And I used to battle in those early days, and I used to say, "How do I know that this is true?" Here I am. People were saying, "Well, you should just go and get a job, Sarah." And I was never going to get a job. It wasn't just not the right solution. And I would fight with myself. And always what I came to is, you know what? I want this to be true. I want this to be the way life works. And every single time I did that, I got an immediate result. It was like instant money would show up unexpectedly. And I took that as, this is actually how it is.
Wow. That's fabulous.
It's a beautiful path that you're on with this. And again, I have to tell you, I feel healed in some ways just by listening to you talk about it this way. It's so difficult to come to terms with money when you don't have it, I think, or when you do have it, and you have negative concepts that you're carrying around. And you're afraid of, well, if I have it, then other people will want it, and then they'll be jealous. And I mean, there's all of these constructs around it. But hearing you talk about it this way is terrific.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who I meet who've read a lot of money books, all the new wealth books and alternative books, and they often say that this one feels true, so it relaxes you just to read it. People often get financial results while they're reading the book because of the energy transmission in the book. And also when I talk about it, because I'm transmitting the energy of money itself. Mm-hmm. And so we're directly in touch. This energy is here. It's right in the room with us. And anyone who's listening, it's also here with you. And when you feel it, it's like, oh yeah, it's actually safe to engage with an energy like this. It's not going to destroy me.
That's it. Yes.
I might need to learn how to do it, get better at it, because I'm not used to this level of niceness. Just like
yes.
Good point.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and it's sometimes these imprints that we get. I mean, I was thinking about one today, thinking about the show tonight, and I was, 12 years old, and I won $100 in a radio contest. So I was excited for a few minutes, and then some weirdo, this is so many years ago. I mean, I'm so old. This was like, I don't even want to tell you how many years ago, 50 plus years ago, okay?
You were a
Some
baby.
yeah, I was a baby. Some weirdo called my house. My mother gets on the phone to hear who this is because she had a gut feeling something was wrong. And this guy was threatening me about the money.
What?
Yeah. I don't remember what he said. I just remember my mother saying, hang up the phone. It's the old days when you had 3 phones in the house or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody listened in, yes.
But then I was traumatized. I was like, oh my God, is this something bad? Because now I'm at risk. So thank God I was at least 11. I didn't get totally imprinted, but I remember that to this day.
Yeah, and there's a truth in that as well, because it is also the case that people who have a lot of money, I've got a friend actually who I'm working with who had a lot of money, who was very, very successful. And he ended up feeling like he was a walking ATM, like people saw him as a source of money, his own kids included, I'm sure. And, so these are real things. And of course, there's a lot of crime that happens around money.
That's right.
But for me, I always come back to, yes, there's bad stuff that goes on in the world, that's for sure. But, what can I do? What can we do to make that better? And it's really clear to me that people who do bad stuff with money don't understand what I understand. Because if they did, they wouldn't be able to do it. It's like you couldn't. If you really understood the nature of the relationship you have with money, you couldn't use it. You couldn't weaponize it. You couldn't use it to hurt people because you just wouldn't do that. So I always try to remind myself of that because, it's easy to get very upset about things that people do with or for money. But I just realized they don't know any better. No one's ever showed them the beauty and the abundance of this energy, actually, and the availability of it to us. And the same goes for people who are really struggling for money. Like you can't blame somebody for not having enough money. We've all probably, most of us have been there. I've certainly been there.
Right.
But we can learn how to engage with it in a better way.
Mm-hmm. And you're right. It goes back to what you said a little bit earlier, that it's not the money that's the problem. It's the bad people making bad decisions. So it's more of
and
that.
And it's all of us good people also collaborating with those bad decisions.
Make bad decisions.
we're all somewhat complicit here.
We are the good ones. We make good decisions. Absolutely. But it's
No, we're the good ones who play with the people who make the bad decisions.
Yeah.
I think we're very complicit in a lot of the badness. We don't like to think of ourselves like that.
We've got to be more careful about that.
So. More discerning.
Yes, more discerning. Absolutely. Second center. We've got to look. But this is wonderful. So with the people that you work with in your groups and individually, that's very exciting. And can you share with us some stories of how people kind of came through the fire about their relationship with money and made a transformation that changed their lives?
Yeah, I can tell you there's different stories. I can tell you about one woman actually who just started very, very recently. And she's got 3 kids. I think they're all under about the age of 6. So very young. She's also running her own business and her husband's running a business. And they had got to a point where they weren't able to pay their mortgage anymore, which is a very scary place. And funnily enough, actually, my friend who I was just telling you about, the one who became very, very wealthy, was coaching them. And he said, you've got to read this book. And so he got them to read the book. She read it 6 times and got them almost completely out of debt, got them all completely back on track with their finances. And then she joined my program and started engaging very, very enthusiastically. And the first week she said, my sales are not really going well. And so I gave her a little bit of advice, and she comes back next week and she says, I've had 6 sales calls and 4 of them turned into sales. She was beaming. And a week later she comes, I've had 10 sales calls now, and now I've had 6 sales. Like, she's just really on this learning very, very simple stuff. And every week I see her, she's beaming because she's taken another step and something else has grown. simple things,
Wonderful.
but that just turn a corner. Another story which I love is a bit more dramatic in a way, but I had a client who had a habit of going into debt, big credit card debt, as so many people do. And he was in the kind of business where you can get windfalls. So he always thought, well, I'll pay off the debt when I get a windfall. And he got a windfall. It wasn't really a windfall. It was a business that, you get options in the business and those options materialize. Anyhow, he got a big windfall one year. And instead of paying off the debt, he went and spent it on all kinds of things and continued to go into debt.
Oh, no.
And then, and what was really interesting is all the way through, he was getting really good results. So he was getting financial results, but his underlying pattern was to use debt at the same time. So this is a fascinating thing. It takes longer to change our underlying patterns, but we can get good results as we go along, which is actually quite a nice thing to know. So people often get results very quickly, but we still need to face our real financial demons. One day, I remember very clearly, he realized that he was 100% responsible for his debt. You know how it is when it's almost like you blame the world or you blame the credit cards for needing to be used, or you blame the world for making you want something so much that you use your credit cards to buy it. You've always have a way of shifting the blame. And for the first time, he took the responsibility completely on himself. And within a year, he'd paid off high six figures of debt, and he was investing.
Good for him.
And it was really because he made that decision. And then from there, money started to be able to, it was like he was able to attract it and do the right thing with it. It changes the attraction of energy around you.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yes. Yeah. Oh, this is great. You must absolutely love what you do.
I do.
Yeah, it's so exciting. And to see these transformations happen the way they do.
And, the other thing to understand is because this is a relationship, fundamentally what I'm teaching people is about their relationship with money. When you change your relationship with money, it changes your relationship with other people. Because funnily enough, it's the same. Usually the way we relate to money is the same we relate to our partner or to the people we're close to. It also changes your relationship to yourself because inevitably you start to love yourself more. It changes your relationship with life as well. So we come in this very knotty area of money, and it kind of unknots a lot of other things at the same time. So that makes it even more interesting, I think, than just on its own. Yeah.
Yes. No, I love these stories, about transformation and how people understanding themselves, because it's hard, and sometimes you can't see your own patterns. You just are at the effect.
Normally. Because if you could see them, you would have changed them already. So it's almost by definition that most things you can't see. But sometimes you can sit down. Actually, I had a really interesting one this morning. I was thinking, why is it that sometimes with some people I feel unsafe? And I didn't quite know why. And it didn't feel quite right. And I had to go into one of those spaces where it's like, I'm curious, but I have no idea what's going on. And I suddenly realized it's like, oh, actually, they feel unsafe. I know these are people who I know grew up feeling unsafe because I'm always told I make people feel safe. So it's like, this is odd. And then I realize, oh, they don't feel very safe. I'm picking that up.
Yes.
And if I react to that, it makes it very unstable for them. So it's even more important if I pick that up, not to think it's me, but to think it's something else. And that was actually in a business context. So I think, this kind of how do we become the detective in our own life so that when something does feel a bit dysfunctional, we can sit quietly enough with it for the underlying pattern to be revealed, because it will show. It didn't show when I was looking at it or looking for it, but I got up at one point just to put a cup of water in my office. And in that moment, it's like, oh, of course, Sarah, that's what's going on. So I think this is a very important thing with money, is that we're able to face ourselves and what happens to us around money and the patterns and the feelings that we get into, and not just keep ignoring them. If you keep ignoring them, you tend to stay a bit closed.
Oh, yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Yes.
Can't do with it and can't do without it.
Well, that's right. Yeah. And that's a really difficult place to be in your life, isn't it?
It is. Well, I know you have lots of techniques to help people kind of unknot themselves with money. Do you have any favorites that you want to talk about?
Well, I only have a few things that are really tricks or tips, so I can share a couple of those. I tend to work more, it's like we need to work on your energy. And it's not really a technique thing. It's like making your life work better. But there are a couple of things that I found that are incredibly powerful and useful and that I can describe in a sentence or two. So I'll share those.
Good.
The first one is really simple. You know, when you want to manifest something, or there's something you really wish for and you can't get it right now. Let's say you don't have enough money. Or you want it at a very specific time. What I do is I ask the energy of money to deliver it to me. So I say, hey, please fix this for me, or please get me that thing, or please sort this out for me. And then I always add the phrase, or something better at the end. So, you know, sometimes it's like, please bring me $5,000 this week. It's like, I really need it. I've got to pay for something. I really need, and there's a bit of desperation in there. If you say, please bring me $5,000 or something better, you can probably feel the minute I say or something better, it takes all the desperation out. The desperation pushes money away energetically. When I say or something better, I'm opening to life, knowing what's right for me. And it takes all the pressure off, and it's far more likely that you'll get a result. So that little phrase, or something better, is really powerful, especially when you have a specific request. Or it's like, you know, you want to manifest the perfect guy. This is a very common example. And people write their lists, all the things they want.
Right.
And it's kind of the same principle, because it's the same energy, actually, that we connect with. And they do that, and then they're so precise, it's almost like, well, no one's going to meet that list exactly quite. If you just say, or something better, because the honest truth is we don't always know what's really great for us. We think we do.
Yeah.
So or something better is really powerful.
That's a good one.
Good to know.
It's really useful. Yeah. I have one other that is a very useful little phrase. You know, sometimes you're in a situation and you know inside yourself that you really need to bring love to this situation, but you're struggling because you're actually not loving it at all. But you probably learned quite a lot about love. You know that love is very powerful. You know, you should be a loving, kind person, but what's actually going on inside you is quite different from that.
That's right.
And, you know, happens commonly with husbands, in my case, for example. I mean, I only have one of them, but obviously, you know, it's pretty annoying at times. Like, you know, whoever's close to you can be that annoyance. It can be in business. If you can just say, and these are very important to get the words right here, I bring love to my perception of ... And whatever ... is the thing that's really annoying you. Okay. So I bring love to my perception of this person's greed because they're trying to take too much from me or something. I bring love to my perception of whatever the situation is, the fact that my bank account is empty and I've got bills to pay. I bring love to, and you just say it over and over, like 3, 4, 5 times. It's really interesting, but it softens your energy very quickly and makes you feel more open, and it just opens you to the energy of money and the energy of life in a way where when you're in that kind of ranting inside your head, that just closes you down and fixes whatever you're annoyed about. It just fixes it. It's like you start to manifest what you're annoyed about. So we need to have techniques for shifting quickly so that we don't manifest more of what we don't want.
And that's
the more energy we give to it, the worse it gets.
It's true. And that's a great technique to help shift it right away. I love it. I'm going to use it.
It's very simple. Bringing the negative to you by wanting a positive.
Right.
Well, yeah, because, you know, when you give a lot of energy to what's wrong, you're giving energy to it, so you're growing it. And that's what people don't seem to realize so much of the time. Exactly. They just grow what they don't want. So we have to shift that.
Wow, that's a wonderful, both of those are excellent. What about children who grow up in a wealthy family, do you find particular issues come up with them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit old-fashioned, so I just think they tend to get spoilt. What we used to call spoiled, I'm sure that that's terribly politically incorrect to say that now, but honestly, entitled, maybe I can say entitled.
Sounds good.
And look, it's very difficult for parents. I have friends who are wealthy parents, and they want the best for their children, like every parent, and they can give it. But the problem is, I think, we live in a culture where most of what you learn about money isn't really suitable for wealthy kids. So wealthy kids should be learning how to steward money, how to use it wisely, how to do things like invest in businesses, start businesses. They should be learning very responsible ways of managing money, but they're mostly exposed to the same trash as everybody else. Sorry, that's a bit blunt, but it's really inappropriate for them.
And the ability to learn to share.
Also,
which is something that many people that have money, the youngsters particularly, don't know how to do.
Yes, or otherwise they overshare. So I know people who've inherited money and they thought, well, as long as I'm generous, there'll be a flow, but there wasn't. Yeah. They gave it all away, and then they ended up, they didn't know how to take care of themselves at the same time. I've seen that in several cases. Right. So I think it's really important that we teach children of any background really, but especially wealthy children really need to understand what money is and why it's important and why people care about it so much and how powerful it is to use. And then the other problem they have is that they tend to reject their parents' ways of making money, which is through business. Usually, wealthy parents usually have they've created a successful business. They've worked really hard. And the next generation, it's like, well, I care about the environment, I care about this and that, but I don't want to do business. It's like, well, good luck. You're going to spend all your parents' money and you're going to run out. And that's what happens. So the successful ones I've seen are the ones who embrace business, but evolve it. So they do businesses for good, for example, but they really learn how to make a profitable, successful business. Because otherwise they just spend their inheritance, for example, and it disappears.
Learning how to share with caring.
Yes.
Yeah. And how to actually invest so that you create more. Because that's the power of money, is that it's something that you can create more with.
Yeah, it can work for you, which is something a lot of people need to learn. I remember also growing up, there was a family that was quite wealthy, and the parents gave trust funds to both of the children. I think they turned 18 or 19 and they gave it all away to a guru, which I can only imagine how their parents wanted to just shoot themselves. I mean, it's like, wow. I mean, they had a good life growing up. They had a beautiful home. They did what they wanted. They had everything they wanted. And maybe it was, I don't know, their way of trying to get back to doing something good, but that was the end of that money.
They were looking for meaning. Like, I understand. I inherited some money and I spent virtually all of it in the end on learning with the Chinese master. And my parents went through some of that. It was a slightly different version. I had bought a house before, and then I sold my house even, and I did end up with nothing. I'm very grateful for the knowledge that I gained, because it did give me the opportunity to spend many years really, really learning what I do. But I would not, again, do the same thing with my money. It's a really interesting one. And look, it made me, probably it's part of the reason why I got the book, because I realized that I had messed up at a certain level, but messed up in a way that was beautiful at the same time, because I learned so much from it. And I don't know what advice I would give to somebody, but I think there is a way to have both. And that's really what I'm working on. We don't have to live this life of sacrifice if we understand what money's actually about.
That's right. Yes. If we do understand that, it's a whole other thing. Yes. And I like what you said too about teaching children who come from wealth how to steward their money. I mean, that makes so much sense.
Definitely.
Yeah. That
Because
is,
look, I'm
Reaction will
surrounded.
continue to grow if everybody learns and teaches as they go.
That's right. I'm surrounded by businesses, amazing businesses that are, what I call a well-being economy business. So they're really taking us into the future. They care about the things that, we all should care about. They care about nature. They care about human well-being. They care about life. And they all need some money. Well, who do they need money from? They need some investment to make the business go. They need investment from wealthy people who have money. And if they know how to steward it and they know which businesses to invest in, they can grow that money and enable much more of a good economy. I mean, what an amazing thing to be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And a much more healthy way than just, this is in my view, just giving it away. Like, grow it and then you can keep giving it away, so to speak, because it keeps growing. It's like a tree.
yes.
You don't have to cut down the tree to take the fruit. It's just take some fruit because there's going to be more growing next year.
Exactly. And I would think as you're teaching children that come from this kind of a family to steward their money, you're also teaching them about intergenerational wealth, how to manage it for the next generation, which in this case that I mentioned, I don't think that happened. I mean, the next generation didn't get bupkis. So,
and look, we have the same in our governments. They don't manage wealth for the next 7 generations like we should.
Yeah.
They just, they're willing to go so far into debt, we can't even begin to fathom what it really means. They have no way out of it. Of course, it creates conflicts. It's just bad economy. It's bad housekeeping at the most basic level. And the silly thing is, every single one of us knows that. Every single human being, we might be good at it or bad at it, but we know that when you don't have enough money to pay your bills, it's not a good place to be.
Nope.
No, it isn't.
Definitely not.
Yeah, and then having to dig yourself out of it. And here we are, a whole country looking at digging ourselves.
I was going to say, and then we're doing the same thing all over again.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, and then encouraging other countries to get massively in debt to the same country. And Europe's doing the same thing. Well, everywhere's doing the same. Everyone's in this old paradigm about money. And the new paradigm enables us to look at it differently. And, we actually behave differently in the new paradigm.
Yeah.
And that's what's so exciting about it, I think.
Now, when you look at this energy of money and you have a close relationship with it, do you feel that it's more of an alliance that you feel? It's like you feel comfortable, you feel a lot. This is an alliance with you because you understand it and it's coming to you. I mean, how else would you describe this for people that don't have it?
Yeah, alliance is actually quite a good word. In one way, I feel like I have my money team. So I have the on the ground team, the people who work in my business and my colleagues and network, and then I have my invisible team that listen to me and love me and really want. Like, the thing about money is it really is it's a constant energy of love. It doesn't waver from that. Its whole function is to deliver what we as human beings wish for. But the thing is, it has very strict rules. And so it has to deliver what we ask for. And so much of the time we ask for what we don't want. It's ridiculous. And so it has to deliver all this stuff. People say, I'm never going to be able to afford to this. Whatever I do, I have more and more bills. And money's listening, saying, we've got to deliver her more and more bills now. That's what she's asking for. It's like, we don't want to do that because we know it's going to make her miserable. But our rules are such that we have to. And so we become much more mindful what we're asking for. So it's kind of like a super responsive partner. There's a sense of alliance of kind of multiple beings, really literally beings, like there are departments. It's like a bureaucracy in the sky in a way, very well organized. Mm-hmm. And literally, because I have this image, if I say something, if I want something, it gets put in a ledger. It's like, okay, Sarah Mccrum, she wants this. And then if I say, but I can't afford it, I'm never going to get that. That ledger gets put on a shelf and there are dusty shelves full of unfulfilled human wishes.
Oh my God, that's awful.
It's all, and then, if I say it with a spark and a smile, like I really would love this and I'm open and I'm happy, it's like, oh, here we are. Here's one we can actually deliver. And it's like the energy of money gets all sparky. It loves things that are a bit too difficult for us. It loves it when we really need that energy. Like, if we've got the money already, that's fine, just pay for it. But if I want something that's a bit impossible for me, it's like the energy of money. It's like, oh, here's another one, and we love this. And you can really feel the enthusiasm. Oh, so it's kind of like
exciting.
It's just they're not so different from us, but they have much stricter rules than we do.
Yeah, they got to keep mirroring it back to us, basically.
In a way, yeah, exactly. And so often it's like we order something from Amazon, but we lock our post box, we lock our door, we don't answer the door when the post person comes, and it's like, why didn't you deliver my thing? Yeah, that's what we do a lot of as humans.
Yes, we do that. I do that. Not so much anymore because I'm becoming aware.
Yeah. We get better. We've had so much education now for the last 25 years or something. We're getting better, aren't we?
We are.
Some of us are.
Sarah, this has been such a nice evening with you, but I have to ask, is there another book coming?
I actually have published another book very, very recently, but it's really different.
What is it?
It's called Wrestling with Freedom. Its subtitle is Poetic Essays on Facing Our Collective Shadow, which pretty much tells you what it is. So it's very much, it was my wrestling with the dark side of life, of power, of bullying, of the really unhealthy aspects of our society, which also exist inside me, they exist inside all of us. So it was me responding to what I was experiencing at a very deep inner level, and actually always finding the beauty and ultimately the freedom that emerges. Like, because what tends to happen is we reject the things that we don't like, or we push them away, or we get obsessed with them. I don't get obsessed with them because I know that that's giving energy to them. But it'd be easier for me to just say, okay, I'm a nice person, I'm a good person, I'm just doing my thing, and reject it. And I found that it doesn't work. There comes a point where it just comes closer and closer, and you have to face your own inner darkness, which is reflected outside, or the outer darkness, which is reflected inside. So it was my literally wrestling my way to freedom, basically, book.
I like this too. We're going to have you back to help you promote that book. And
well, I would love to come back. Yes.
So I will
fun conversation with you too.
Oh, good. Well, look, I'm going to contact Gail and tell her how much fun we had with you and how much we learned tonight. So we are now on a whole different level with money, and we would love a copy of your new book, and we will book you with your new book so that we can hear all about this. Because we all have this shadow side, and we don't like to admit it even. So
yeah, it's a tough one, but it's so much beauty comes out of it that we can't find if we try to keep everything light. Yeah,
it's fantastic. I'm going to ask for a dream about money tonight, to meet the money energy.
You can do that. Or you can just sit down at any time. Just ask money. Just say, what do you want to say to me? Just say, what do you want to say to me? Or write, just like I did.
Oh, gosh.
If you are supernatural girls, which you clearly are, and you're highly sensitive, which you clearly are, and you're tapped in, I think there's very little chance that money will ignore you if you ask.
Okay. Well,
I'm going to tell the powers that be that you suggested we do this, and I'm looking for it tomorrow.
Yeah, please share with me what you discover. I'd love to see.
We will, believe me.
It's been delightful, Sarah.
It's great. Now, Sarah, how can people get a hold of you if they want to participate in your classes? Because I'm sure you do them electronically or digitally. So
yeah. It's very easy. It's sarahmccrum.com. So it's my name.
Okay. There it is. Okay, everybody. This is your chance. This is how you can get closer to your goals. So.
And it's worth mentioning the name of the book, because it's very easy to remember, is Love Money, Money Loves You. And it comes up really easily on bookstores and things.
I know Phil's gonna
there
have
it is.
Yeah. That's right. I've got mine here too.
This is not allowing me to do this because we've got those screens up. Bill, can you put the book up
kind
again?
of coming in and out of the nether territories, isn't it? It's like,
There it is. Thank you,
revealing
Bill.
itself.
Thanks, Bill.
It's a
Mine
beautiful
wasn't showing so
cover.
well.
Yeah. Thanks, Bill. It's just beautiful. And thank you for being here with us tonight. Have a beautiful rest of your day in Australia.
On the 1st of October. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's you're a very fun pair.
Oh,
Thank you.
thanks. Well, you're just wonderful. And we're so glad you spent the evening with us during your day. Okay. Well, we will be back next week, everybody, with another great show. And until then, we will see you on the Blue Highway. Good night, everyone.
Good night.